When someone talks about governance, what are they really talking about? What is governance?
When I think about governance, I think about the different things that are associated with government, such as corruption, the fact of the youth not having enough information to make wise and informative decisions about the things that are happening within the country. I also think about the role that the government is lacking in terms of not only the youth, but the elderly. And when I personally think about governance, I see a need for the Caribbean to be more educated about what this thing about governance is, because we only think about it as a person being in parliament for 5 years or whatever the situation is, but it goes way beyond that. And I think there needs to be more in diverse definition so that person can be aware of what exactly is government. And that's only my opinion.
Okay.
I think that essentially governance is just the person being governed, so it's ruler and ruled, essentially. So it doesn't, government is just a part of it, but not the whole thing.
So what else would be part of it then?
Well, you were saying it could be in businesses, people, between friends, anything. Once there's that relationship between the governed and the government.
When I think of it, I just think of Parliament and what goes on there and what's not. That's basically what I think about.
I think that there's a distinction between the two concepts, and I think that one would have fit into the other, such that governance covers a wider ambit of things. It covers both, as you would have indicated, both interrelations between the public sector, the private sector. It covers administration. It covers the role of the civil service. It covers the nature of the citizens themselves and the citizenry and the involvement in the process of governance. So those checks and balances and the accountability factors, the transparency factors, all those things will encompass how the structure of the governance of a country is taken into consideration. Is
government only involved in looking at it from the governmental level for a country specifically? Can government be involved in something such as this? Who's governing this meeting, for instance? Dr. Hans, governance.
I think, yeah, you can look at it in different contexts and different lights, certainly. So you can look at governance not only in terms of the government of a country, but you can look at it on a much more micro level and look at it in terms of governance of an organization, the governance of an institution, just the administration of something, how you're able to run something, and those kinds of issues. Those kinds of things cover a wider. So I think it's a very broad concept.
Right. Well, for me, when I think about governance, I think about the way or the means by which people are involved in the decision-making process, and also to what extent is their input actually used in terms of the outcomes.
Well, as discussed earlier, I think one of the main points that was missing is that there was too much emphasis on just government alone in governance. There are other facets of within the notion of governance. There are also other types of governance when you think about e-governance and the interrelation between the government and maybe private sector, public sector, those things.